Hello, welcome to the Smalls Talk podcast. I am your host, Tiffany, joined by my husband and co host,
Brandon,
and
and
we
we
are
are
the
the Smalls.
Smalls.
Join us each episode for a small talk about marriage, fitness, family, and life.
Well, again, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am excited about this episode that we're doing right now. We're going to do things a little differently. We're going to have a segment called the Smalls World. I
Yes.
know someone gave us that name before when we were looking for a name for the podcast, but the Smalls World is going to be a segment on family, fun, just to give you a little insight of what me and Brandon are doing, what the kids are doing. So I am going to start. Of course, you know that kids say the darnest things, right? So starting with my oldest, she is 9, the baby is 5, but Taylor is 9, and I remember going into Belt, and I wanted this dress, right? And I said, "Oh, it's a cute dress." It was a jean dress. It had some paint splash all over it. And I thought it was so cute. I said, I can wear it with heels or I can wear it with sneakers. It'd be so cute. She was like, "I don't like that dress, Mom." I was like, "Why not?" "I don't like it." So I left it. I left it in the store and I want that dress so bad. So 2 weeks later, I went back. I knew it was gone. Went back 2 weeks later. I was like, "Man, I really want that dress." She gonna tell me, "I'm glad you didn't buy it because I didn't like it." So, so that's Taylor. Taylor will tell you exactly what is on her mind. She don't care sometimes how it comes out. If she don't like it, she don't like it. If she like it, she does. So what's your version of the Smalls
And to
world?
piggyback off of that, Taylor, I think, is coming more into herself
Yeah.
as far as fashion because there was one day last week when Tiffany picked out a shirt. I can't remember what was going on, but I was getting them dressed. Tiffany may have been in the back doing something at the time. And so, I'm telling the girls to get dressed. Taylor comes out with the shirt on that Tiffany picked out. I don't like this shirt. It makes me feel like a second grader.
She didn't tell me that.
She told me that. She told me that. So, I did tell Tiffany that Taylor wasn't feeling the shirt. So, Tiffany went back there and picked out another shirt because, if it left up to me, they'd be wearing Nike sweatsuits every day.
Help me, y'all.
But,
Help me.
that's just me. It would be pink though. Um, Brandy is the one that always says the stuff to me. In the mornings when I drop them off at school, I always tell them, "All right, guys, have a good day. Love y'all. Be good." Brandy always yells back at me, "We're always good at school, Daddy." Brandy, it's an expression. Just go with it.
That's just like Brandy. But remember that time we was sitting in the living room and Brandy bust out, "I know about romance." And we looked at her, "You know about romance?" And she was like, "Yeah, you know." So we was in the garage not too long ago, and we was sitting in there. I think me and Brandon was working out, and it was in there with us. And she said, Taylor said, "I know how to make a baby in a sense or whatever. I know how a baby is made." Brandon said, "Yep, I told her." Like, "How you know? You're the youngest one." And Taylor said, "You just keep kissing, and then that's how a baby is made." So to me, that was hilarious
If they
because
only knew.
if they only knew. But she was like, "Yeah, you just keep kissing." And like we watch a movie or she's watching something on TV, she can't stand when people kiss and she closes her eyes. So I said, "What you gonna do when you get a boyfriend in the future? Not now, in the future." She said, "I don't know. I'm not gonna kiss him." So we shall see, people. We shall see. Remember this.
Hopefully, she keeps that attitude for a long time.
Hopefully she does. So that was a segment of the Smalls World. We hope you enjoyed just to let you into our lives just a little bit. But I'm super duper excited as well for the topic we have today. The topic today is workplace relationships.
Yes.
Haha. That's a great topic because that's how me and Brandon met. But to define a workplace relationship, it's a relationship with a boss, a colleague, an employee that starts off as a working relationship, turns into a close friendship, and then a relationship. And of course, you all know that a workplace relationship can directly affect a coworker's ability and able to succeed in life. So, you take a risk when you get involved with someone at work. Sometimes it's hit or miss. Sometimes it's good. We're still going. We're married. Sometimes it's not. So, you know, we're going to talk about a little bit our relationship, how we got started, how we are now from where we came from. So we're going to give y'all a little insight of the Smalls. So I'm going to let Brandon start.
Well, of course, we met 2005 at work. We didn't start dating until 2006. There was a a lot of flirting, I'd say, especially at the beginning of 2006 before we started dating. Um, and yeah, we just went from there. Um, we had a few rough patches, but for the most part, our experience working together was good as far as us two goes. There were a lot of outside influences at work that, some negative things
Ha.
that happened there. But, all in all, it was a good experience for us.
It was a good experience, but the one thing that I did learn and that I always said when I was at work that even though me and Brandon are dating, we're not married, right? I always told myself that. I said, so therefore, I'm gonna keep my business to myself because if we break up, I still have to make money, right? So I didn't want
Hmm.
everybody in my business. So I kept my business a little to myself. Certain people knew that we were dating. A lot of people really didn't know that we were that serious until he proposed and he put it on Facebook. I didn't have Facebook. I didn't get Facebook until last year, y'all. I didn't get it till last year. But anyway, a lot of people didn't know. I always kept the relationship separate. Like even when we were going to lunch, he would go out first, I would go out last.
Hmm.
And we would come to work sometime. We would walk in separate times because we started living together. So
Or walking in separate doors.
yeah. So the one thing about a workplace relationship, you have to be very careful because a lot of times they're not prohibited at work, but you have to just be careful of who you tell your business to. And it goes from there. But as of now, that was 2005, 2006. Now we're at 2021, 11 years married and still holding on. Not saying it's easy, but hey, our workplace relationship on that end, it worked for
Yeah.
us.
I mean, there was even one coworker that I ran into on Facebook last year, 2 years ago, some at some point. Um, and she just found out that we was married, and we're already 9, 10 years in. It was like, oh my God, I never even knew y'all was dating to be married. It's like, yeah, yeah, we was dating that whole time, but she
Oh,
never
wow.
knew.
Yeah, we did. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get into some just some pros and
Pros and
cons.
cons.
We may tell you we're going to go in with some examples from myself, but we're going to give you some pros and cons of the workplace relationship. So get ready.
So I found this site called The Cusp that published this article back in September of 2017 that dealt with the pros and cons of a workplace relationship. And so we're going to go, back and forth, pro, con, and we're going to give you our take. The first pro is you have a better understanding of your work related grievances, of your partner's work related grievances. So
Okay.
essentially, like now we don't work at the same well, it's a little different now because we're both working from home,
Yeah.
so we kind of know each other's coworkers, or at least know their voice from all the conference calls that we have to be on. But prior to that, I didn't know Tiffany's coworkers like that. Tiffany didn't know my coworkers like that. So when I
Exactly.
came home and I said, Mary Jane is getting on my nerves, X, Y, and Z. Number one, she doesn't know Mary Jane.
True.
Number two, she doesn't know like how Mary Jane is or anything like that. So you know, it's hard for her to really get a full idea of what's going on. She's just naturally going to take my side when, granted, I could be right, but if I was wrong, she wouldn't have a point of reference to be able to say, well, Brandon, did you ever think about X, Y, and Z? Versus when we were working together, you know, I knew her whole team. She knew my whole team. We knew each
Exactly.
other's supervisors. Um, so, if somebody was to do something, I can come in and objectively say, okay, I understand where you're coming from. Did you ever think that, he or she may have thought about it this way? Not saying that Tiffany's wrong, but let's look at the entire picture because I know all the parties and I kind of know, the other person's personality too. But I can also say, that person was dead wrong when that person is wrong.
That's true. And also with that situation, like Brandon said, he can come in and object, but also be mindful that if Brandon was having an issue with someone at work and I knew that person, part of me don't even want to get involved because I'm getting involved. They're like, why is she getting involved? Are they
Yeah.
together? It causes more question and more confusion. So at work, I had to learn how to separate my personal life from my work life. Because at the end of the day, I came to work to make money. So not trying to be funny or be ignorant, but I was there to make money. Even though we were together, we were together, but we weren't married. So at the end of the day, I had to watch out at part sense for me, not to be mean, but so you have to understand when you're in a relationship with someone at work, be mindful of what you say and what you do because it can come back to haunt you as well.
All right. Now, the first con is the entire workplace can find out. Now, I come at this from a different perspective from Tiffany in that Tiffany is actually my second workplace relationship. The first one, I was much, much, much younger, and everybody knew about it. And the one thing that I could say that I did not like about it was anytime, I was in a bad mood for whatever the reason could have been, everybody automatically assumed that she had something to do with it. Me and the parents could have gotten into it, me and my brothers, I bombed a test. Football practice didn't go the way that I thought it could have gone. Anything in the world could have happened.
True.
And everybody would automatically assume, hey, what did so-and-so do today? Or they would go and ask her, hey, what's wrong with Brandon today? And it's like, she's coming into it like, okay, this is my first time seeing him today. So I honestly don't know. Y'all might want to try going to ask him instead of assuming that it's me.
Yeah.
And so going into the relationship with Tiffany, we tried to make it our business to not tell everybody.
Keep people out your business.
But again, it was always that risk that the entire workplace could find out because, especially when we started living together, we was driving together to work.
True.
So, they knew what my car looked like. They knew what Tiffany's car looked like. So if I went out for lunch or something like that without Tiffany and people are like, okay, why is Brandon driving Tiffany's car? Or vice versa. Why is Tiffany driving Brandon's car? And how come I don't see the other person's car in the parking lot? They'll start putting two and two together. Luckily, it didn't happen, but you always run that risk.
We were careful. What's your next pro that you have?
The next pro is you get to see your partner all the time, which there's kind of two levels to that. Initially, when it was just me and Tiffany dating, it was, I get up in the morning, I go to work, I see Tiffany for, those 8-9 hours. And then, we might go out after that. We go our separate ways. But, we literally spent the majority of the day seeing each other. I saw Tiffany more than I saw any other person. So you get to see your partner all the time. And then, especially when we started living together, you literally see your partner all the time. You're waking up at the same time. You're riding to work in the same car most days. You see each other all day at work, especially if you sit, in close proximity with that person. And then you're leaving the job at the same time and then going to the same house. So literally, it's around the clock that you are seeing that person.
I mean, for me at first, it's, you all get it, right? It's like, oh, I get to see my boyfriend every day. But then after a while, you're like, Now, especially, hold on now, am I feeling him today? Did we have an argument? Are we on the same page? So many things can happen, but like Brandon said, it can be a good or a bad thing for certain people. Now, I think you have to put your big girl draws on when you're dating someone because at the end of the day, you have to learn. That's my main goal I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to say it 10 times. You have to learn how to keep your personal business separate from your work business. So, yeah.
Which leads right into our con. You get to see your partner all the time, which you literally get no breaks. I mean, even when you have, you're not living in the same household, you at least get that point where, after y'all have left each other, you get those, however many hours you have at the house sleeping and all that kind of stuff. You have your weekends if you're not going out on the weekend, meeting up on the weekends. But when you're dating that person, you see them literally all the time.
All the time. And some people like that. Some people like to be, the thing what I think will help our relationship is that sometimes I would tell him, you can go out, not saying he can, but go out with your friends. I can go out with my friends. You need that time apart because you're together all the time. So trust and believe that you're going to need time by yourself to, just to have your me time, have your time with your female friends or whomever, because you don't have to see that person all the time. Now, I do know some people who like to be under their boyfriend all day, every day. And for me, it was different with me and Brandon. I didn't have to do that. I just like, I love him being there, but sometimes it's like, I just need some me time. Even now that we're married, I need my me time. Even if I go in a room and sit down, or he goes sit in the garage, or we may go to someone's house separately or whatever, you just need time for yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing at all.
Sorry, y'all, we had some technical difficulties. But our next pro is no more dreading your alarm. Waking up for work is fun and exciting. Which that is a definitely a pro, knowing that you get to wake up and go see, in my case, your girlfriend for, 8-9 hours out of the day, and there's no other obligations or things that you have to worry about planning for. When you're spending like a whole Saturday or Sunday or whatever with your girlfriend, unless you're going to sit at home and watch movies all day, you're going to have to, take time and plan stuff, be prepared to spend a few dollars, things of that nature. But, you get to wake up in the morning and, hey, while I'm making my money, I get to see my honey. You like that, don't you?
That's right. I like that.
You like that, don't you?
I give you a couple of points. He got some points in the book for that. What's the con?
The next con is you are totally distracted. You can be distracted by your partner. They might be looking and smelling good that day, and you just like, hey, I can't get no work done with her looking like this all day. Or could be on the reverse end. Could have pissed you off.
True.
And you're sitting there fuming because you got to see that person
all day.
So you're distracted because you see them. She gets on my doggone nerves.
No, I don't. But you can also be distracted if you had a good night the night before. Yeah. Now, if y'all we're married, so I can talk about this. If you had a good night the night before, you can get to work now and be like, smelling yourself. Like, okay, we had a good night. You cheesing that word. Everybody, what's wrong with you? Why are you so happy? Nothing.
Just chilling.
Why are you so happy? So that can also be a distraction as well.
And it makes you start thinking about, I wonder if we can sneak out during lunchtime and
hot lunch date.
Hot lunch. I highly recommend the hot lunch.
Don't tell all our business.
No, I'm just telling people, have a hot lunch. Plan them. Make it happen.
Telling our business now. We supposed to let y'all in somewhat, but not all our business.
I didn't say we was doing that. I'm telling them to do that.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I just told on ourselves. Go ahead.
The next pro is your workplace romance can be saucy and secret, which definitely it can be,
True.
Knowing that the company doesn't know what's going on and you sneaking around. You're going to have some people that kind of put 2 and 2 together. But, y'all are going in separate doors or, staggering the times that you come in, have your inside jokes that only y'all two know about. It definitely can make it spicy, make it fun.
It could, especially if you know that, like they said, a song, escape song, You're My Little Secret, and nobody know. Nobody has to know. Keep your business to yourself. Nobody knows. Nope. They don't have to know now. When you get home, hey, but while you at work, make your money and then go home. Mm-hmm. Yes, of course.
And the next con is you put your job in jeopardy, which we've definitely seen this happen.
True.
Going back to my first workplace relationship, just knowing that by working together, you might not be able to get the raises or promotions that you might desire because there may be rules against that. Some jobs they strictly forbid workplace relationships. Some of them say, as long as you're on the same level, you're fine. Some of them may say, you can't work in the same department.
True.
Most all of them are going to say, a supervisor, manager, whatever can't date, somebody that's under him.
That's true.
So you have to think about those things when you're looking at getting into a workplace relationship. What does the company policy say about that? Because you don't want, both of y'all got to make money at the end of the day. And the last thing you want to do is take money out of your
pocket, right?
Yeah, out of your pocket or your significant other's pocket. So.
And if you're gonna date somebody like that, I mean, not saying it can't happen. It has never happened. I'm pretty sure it has, and I'm pretty sure people have been successful in doing that because we know a couple. I'm not gonna call a name, but they have done that. One was a manager, one was I think a team lead or something like that. And they're married now and successful and doing their own thing. But at the end of the day, like I said, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. You just have to limit the information that you put out. If I know that I'm dating a manager, I don't need to. I may love my friend. If you ain't my best friend, then I don't need to tell you.
Right.
Because you get mad at me one day, what you gonna say? Well, Tiffany dating such and such.
That's the only reason why they got that job.
That's it.
That's the only reason why she got that promotion or bonus or whatever,
And it starts from there. You downhill from there. So now the manager might be fired, and then you would be fired. So at the end of the day, you have to be mindful who you tell your business to. Now, if y'all get caught, you get caught. If you don't say nothing, but if you go out and tell somebody, most likely you might get caught.
Yeah,
you might get caught.
The next pro is workplace relationships sometimes come with perks. And y'all, I'm not talking about the perks that y'all think I'm talking about.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Y'all just nasty. Y'all just nasty. No, the perks I'm talking about are on the job perks. For instance, like with me and Tiffany at our job that we worked at together, she was an internet banking specialist. I was just a regular customer service rep. Her salary and bonuses were already set. My bonuses each month, my incentive was based off of what I did each month. Since Tiffany did not get any extra money based off of what they call sales, it really wasn't selling stuff. It was really free products that we were giving to people that we get credit for. Tiffany would slide those over to me each day, each week. So it always made, my pockets look a whole lot better, come incentive time each month.
Now, my old manager he might look at this. He gonna say, "What were you doing?" It's like I'm playing. He would never say that.
He wouldn't say that.
He would never say that.
And he probably knew.
Y'all see how I look out for Brandon? Does Brandon look out for me like that?
Yeah.
Do y'all see how I look out for Brandon?
Yeah.
We wasn't even married.
She knew if she had a question, when I became a team lead, I'd come and answer her question first.
But y'all, let me make y'all laugh. Don't bother Brandon when he on break.
No.
If he was on break and you ask me, I'm on break. But what the devil? You can ask a question, I'm on break. Then he used to always say, but I don't bother y'all when y'all on break. Like, hold on, sir. Can you help? Somebody thought he was the meanest person ever. Because don't bother him when he on break, y'all. He get real serious. He was real serious about that.
Two things I don't play about. Break time. And don't talk to me before 10 o'clock. Don't talk to me before
Brandon
10
is
o'clock.
a Scrooge.
I mean, now I kind of have to put on a fake face now because, we got kids and, we getting them up in the morning.
Well, he don't have no choice,
school.
y'all, because he work with me and I'm a morning person.
But
he don't have no choice.
Give me 10 o'clock, cup of coffee, cup of tea,
He don't have no choice.
Then I'm awake.
He don't have no choice. What you got, babe? What you got?
And the last con is the hierarchy and workplace politics matter a lot. And what I mean by that is, especially when you're in a relationship with a supervisor or manager, you don't want it ever questioned or eyebrows being raised over why you got a certain promotion, a certain bonus, or even getting employed at that company. Because the first thing they're going to point to is, well, their husband, their wife, their boyfriend, their girlfriend, whatever is working there. Because, we see that a lot.
True.
Most companies will try to, if they find out that, you're dating somebody that is a supervisor or manager, making sure that, if you're allowed to date, they'll make sure that you're not on the same team or in the same department. So that way it isn't looked at like, oh, well, the only person why Sally Sue got this position because her and John are dating, or vice versa. Um, and it's not just in workplace relationships. We see it all the time.
True.
Nepotism. Your mom, your dad, uncles, aunts, whoever work there, and they're in a high position, and we see people coming along, and it's like, are they really qualified for that position? Are they really more qualified than the other candidate that we knew applied? Because we've seen that. I've seen it a lot, where I know such and such candidate is perfectly qualified, but the son of a manager ended up getting a position. It's like, did he really or she really earn that position off of their merit,
Or because of who they're related to.
who they're related to?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times those things are, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. You look out for my son. When you got somebody coming through, I'll look out for them, kind of deal.
And not to say that the individuals are not qualified, because some people are qualified. I know someone like that at the job. Somebody said the brother worked his way up, sister didn't. But at the end of the day, you do have those people that work from the bottom and work their way up, and don't want to be labeled by my mom or my dad. This is what I have done. So judge me by what I'm doing, not by them just giving it to me.
Right.
So, but I have a question for you.
Shoot.
You're ready.
Whoa, hold on. I got one more con.
Oh, one more con. I'm gonna let you do your last con.
Last one. You break up. Yeah.
Is that the worst?
Workplace breakups are the worst.
I never experienced that.
Yeah. Luckily, we didn't experience that. But, going back to, my past relationship, and I was young. Granted, I was very, very young. But you have coworkers that are taking sides because, hey, I knew Brandon first. Hey, I knew her first. Or, Brandon trained me, so I'm riding with him. Or Brandon was mean to me and I'm riding with her. So, it is the worst, seeing that person every day, or at least while you're working, because then I was working part-time. So, seeing that person when you come into work, going and checking the schedule, like, dang it.
Her hurt your feelings?
A little bit.
That ain't funny, y'all.
I was a thug, though.
You was a thug?
Yeah, I was a thug, though.
What you mean? You was a thug? Mm-hmm. You was a thug? Mm-hmm. How was you a thug?
I was a baby thug.
You was a baby thug.
But no, just knowing that, you having to see that person every day, and unless you quit, there's nothing that you can do about it.
True.
Or the other person quits, there's nothing you can do about it. And you kind of getting that back and forth, like, well, I ain't gonna quit. And, they're looking at it like, well, I ain't gonna quit either. Kind of deal. So yeah, it's just the worst.
But
don't do it.
While you were at work, did y'all ever come to like an agreement? Did y'all ever start getting along at some point in time after y'all broke up? It probably took a while, but did you?
I don't think that we were, it was long enough for us to get to that point.
Okay.
I think we ended up breaking up like in September.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say I quit right around beginning or middle part of November.
Okay.
And even then, I worked a lot. I was probably working 5 days out of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe only 2 of those days we worked together.
Okay.
So, no, we never really came to an agreement like that.
Okay. So now, you ready for my question?
Hold on.
Okay, now my question is, how would you approach a workplace relationship, and what would you do differently from now?
I think right now, where I am in my life, I probably would not pursue a workplace relationship. If something was to ever happen to Tiffany, I just couldn't see myself doing it. It ain't got nothing to do with you. But no, back, what was that, 2005, 2006,
Mm-hmm.
The internet wasn't what it is now. Social media wasn't what it is now.
True.
And, not saying that I put all my business out on social media. Y'all probably are like, you know, Brandon, what's going on with you? You post like good for like a week and then you just stop posting.
I do that too.
I'm lazy. So I got tons of pictures on my phone that I say I'm going to post and it never makes it to social media. I got tons. Funny stuff too. But no, I don't think that I would necessarily look for, if it happens, it happens. But, you know, I think I would be more prone to, you know, if I was to meet somebody like at church, for instance,
Okay.
knowing then that I would only see that person, Sunday mornings and, Bible study and, any type of special occasions that may be going on at church or meeting somebody at the gym. And I know, I'm only going to see that person for the hour that I'm in the gym if I ever decided to join a gym again. So yeah, I don't know that I would necessarily pursue a workplace relationship unless it was something that just happened. And if I did, the first thing that I would do is everybody that I work with, I block them on social media. I block. I mean, right now, I have a rule now where if you're not somebody that I hang out with outside of work or would hang out with outside of work, I'm not adding you on social media. This is a, 7 to 4 relationship that we have at work. We're friends at work. But at 4 o'clock when I go home, we ain't friends no more.
That's so wrong, y'all.
If I see you out the street, I don't know you.
That's wrong. But he's right. You do have to watch what you put on social media. Yeah, because if you don't, people will literally tell your business. What is Tiffany doing? Is she pursuing something else? Well, what is she doing? You have to be mindful because when I started social media, I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, a couple people I know from work that I talk to like that, I added them, and it's a couple people that I just know, and they asked, and I just added them because I was new to social media, y'all. I didn't join until last year, so you have to be mindful of who you add now on social media. It's nothing. Can't add any and everybody because your business will be told to someone or something. And I mean, that's everyday life regardless anyway, but yeah, everyday life. But, with that being said, you were my first workplace relationship. So I never dated anybody at work. I didn't really work that often, y'all, anyway. But I never dated anybody at work. Brandon was the first person I've dated at work, and look, we are now, going on 12 years next year. So thankful for that. So I'm excited for that. So we just got to keep moving. It's work to put in as well. Of course, you got to put in work in a marriage, in any relationship, anything that you do, you have to put in work. You want to own a business, work, relationship work, marriage work. So that's how it go. But now what I want to do, I want to hear from you all so you can leave a comment. Are you in a workplace relationship now? I'm going to put all your business out there. You can say you know someone or whatever. Are you in one right now? How is it working for you? Is it going good? Is it going bad? Do you regret your decision? Or should you even date a coworker? Because when we were dating, I don't think I literally sat back and said, what is the risk? Because at that point I was only 24. I didn't think what is the risk. I was just like, oh, whoop-de-doo, we dating, So I didn't think about the risk of it. I was just thinking that, he's cute. I didn't say all the things he said I said now. I don't remember all that, y'all.
She did.
But I just thought that he was cute. And, we went from there. We had some hiccups in the road, of course, but we made it. But I just want to hear from you all and tell me now, before you act on your feelings, you need to think about the risk now. Think about, especially if you're a supervisor or a manager, are you willing to be demoted or be fired? If you're an employee, are you willing to date a manager and know that it may hinder you from getting a promotion? Are you willing to get fired in general? Or are you willing to, you love your department, are you willing to have them move you somewhere else just because you and that person need to date? So think about the risks in a workplace relationship. It's not always easy as well now. It's not easy. So think about that as well.
Because somebody's going to find out at some point.
Yeah.
It might not be, where it's catastrophic, but somebody is going to put 2 and 2 together. They always leaving together, they always manage to sit by each other during a meeting, or they're going to lunch together all the time. You know, somebody's gonna figure it out eventually.
They're gonna put it together,
So,
two
yeah.
and two. Now, I read this article, and on the article, it did say if you start dating someone at work, don't hide it from your manager or your colleague. I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel like
I ain't telling you.
you should kind of hide it until you know, because I'm not telling my manager, because what if my manager and me don't get along? Or what if we have a hiccup in the road? What is he or she gonna say? So I don't know if I believe that. Now I just kind of keep my business to myself.
I think you definitely want to err on the side of caution and go ahead and look at your employee handbook and see what it has to say about that. Because it may be prohibited, it may not be prohibited, but you just want to make sure that you're covered and you don't get any type of surprises.
True.
You know, with that article, I guess you could tell your supervisor, manager, whoever, if you can be put in a compromising position because of it.
Yeah.
But if it's something that's not going to affect your job performance, not going to affect her job performance, and things of that nature, probably no need to tell.
Now, don't lose your job over somebody you got like a little cut friend, like camouflage back in the day.
Yeah,
Don't lose your job because of a cut friend. Now, if you see this relationship going somewhere, that's different. But if you know that, well, me and Brandon, the only thing we doing is, you know, we hooking up every now and then, and you don't feel like it's going anywhere, you better make your money and stop playing. Stop trying to hook up with people. You better go to the job down the street, hook up with somebody else. But hey, that's just my opinion. But do you have any other comments?
Nope. I got nothing.
Well, I would like for you all to leave us comments just about, you know, like I said, the workplace relationships. What's your view on it? What's your take? How did you all like the podcast? As well, you know, we would love for you all to support us. So go to the Smalls Talk, which is all one word, on Instagram, and follow our page as well. And also check us out on YouTube. It's the Smalls Talk. Subscribe to our page. You know, give us a thumbs up, or even if you want to give a thumb down, make sure you give a comment as well. Just try to help us. You know, my goal is our goal is to inspire others in marriage, fitness, and health. You know, that's what we're trying to do in family. So again, we want you to know
we're the Smalls.
We are the Smalls.